How IShowSpeed is accidentally destroying America's lies about Africa. For decades, Africa has been shown to the world through a very narrow lens. Starving children, mud houses, war zones, deserts, and chaos. If you grew up consuming Western media, chances are that when someone said Africa, a single image appeared in your mind, and it wasn't flattering. But then, a hyperactive YouTuber who barks, screams, flips over cars, and calls himself IShowSpeed booked a flight to Africa. And somehow, without meaning to, he did what documentaries, NGOs, and media campaigns failed to do for decades. He exposed the lie. Not with speeches, not with politics, but with raw, chaotic, unfiltered reality. Today, we're breaking down how IShowSpeed's Africa tour shattered American stereotypes, embarrassed mainstream narratives, and accidentally became one of the most powerful cultural reality checks of the internet era. And yes, we're doing it with facts, humor, and a little speed-style madness. Let's be honest, most Americans weren't taught about Africa. They were shown a version of Africa, a version where everyone is poor, everyone is suffering, technology doesn't exist, joy is rare, and hope only comes from foreign saviors. Hollywood reinforced it, news media repeated it, school textbooks oversimplified it. Africa became a single story, even though it's a continent with 54 countries, over 1.4 billion people, and thousands of cultures. So when Americans imagine Africa, they don't imagine Lagos traffic jams, Nairobi tech hubs, Accra nightlife, Johannesburg malls, African youth fluent in memes, crypto, and Wi-Fi. They imagine the silence and suffering. And then, IShowSpeed landed. Let's be clear, IShowSpeed did not go to Africa to educate anyone. He went to stream, be loud, meet fans, have fun, and create content, which is exactly why it worked. No script, no agenda, no polished PR, just a camera, internet, and millions watching live. And suddenly, the world saw Africa without filters. Wait, this is Africa? Moments that broke the internet. The crowds. When Speed stepped outside, he wasn't met with emptiness, he was met with thousands of fans. Young, energetic, stylish, online, connected. People who knew his memes, quoted his streams, chanted his name. This alone destroyed a huge myth. Africans aren't connected to global culture. Wrong. They are the culture. Infrastructure shock. Speed saw high-rise buildings, paved highways, busy airports, police escorts, organized events, and his reaction said everything. Not because Africa impressed him, but because he wasn't taught this Africa existed. That silence, that pause, that was misinformation collapsing in real time. Humor and humanity. The jokes, the laughter, the teasing, the chaos. Africans weren't begging for attention, they were roasting Speed. This flipped another narrative. Africans are always victims. No, they were confident, playful, self-aware, equal participants, not props. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Many Americans didn't realize they had internalized false ideas about Africa, and Speed's live streams exposed that gap instantly. You could see it in comments. This doesn't look like Africa. Why is it so modern? Why does everyone have phones? Why are they richer than I expected? That confusion wasn't random. It was the result of decades of selective storytelling. Documentaries can be dismissed, statistics can be ignored, lectures can be skipped, but live streams don't lie. No background music, no dramatic voiceovers, no emotional manipulation. Just reality, happening in front of millions. Speed didn't say, Africa is not poor. He just walked through Africa, and the lie collapsed on its own. One of the biggest victories of Speed's tour was African youth representation. Not as charity cases, not as side characters, but as fans, creators, organizers, influencers, business owners. African youth saw themselves reflected globally without translation or permission, and that matters. Here's the funniest part. IShowSpeed didn't wake up and say, "Today I will challenge Western narratives." He just screamed, ran, reacted, laughed, which proves something powerful. Sometimes the strongest truth comes without intention. This tour opened doors for other creators, for tourism, for cultural exchange, for honest representation. Africa doesn't need saving. It needs accurate visibility, and ironically, a chaotic YouTuber helped provide that. IShowSpeed didn't destroy America with facts. He destroyed false ideas with presence. And once people see the truth, they can't unsee it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like the video, subscribe, and comment your thoughts below, especially if Speed's Africa tour changed your perspective, because conversations like this are how real understanding begins.